Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. This is the December Daily Wallet album. This is wallet number 4. We have finished 1, 2, and 3. They're over here. And now we're going to design our digital paper for wallet number 4. So all we know for sure is that we've got this joy piece here. Then on the back we have this red holly. And then for our strap, I'm going to go with... I think I'll go with these ornaments. So those are the 3 patterns of paper that we know we have so far to work with. This will be for the underside of the strap, this piece. And now what we have to do is we have to design all the rest of it, you know. And we're not going to do it all in this video because there's just not that much time left in the class, but we will get some of it done. So let's switch over to the other view and get to working. All right, so I'm back in Photoshop, and earlier today I got right before the show started this evening, I got all the stuff going. So I've got all my pieces and parts. So, okay, this first thing here is the 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece that goes on the folder inside. So what we want to look for this one is just anything really cute that we might like. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at this bar down here. This is called the photo bin. And that's just what I'm looking at to see what I've got. So we may just use this. We may try and do something with this. That might be kind of fun. So we already used this one in a pretty big way. That one's facing the wrong direction. The other one I like is this one. This one is also really cute. So maybe. And there's also a few things like this. And like this. There's a few things that are like technically embellishments, but that we can do larger things with, as well as I've noticed the tags. A lot of this stuff would be good on the front of a card or a folder. See, this is the one I chopped up earlier to make the Holly Jolly. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on down here that we can use. But for the verticals, we have way more options. For the horizontals, we have fewer. So as far as ones we haven't used yet that are horizontal, it's this one, and then any of the squares, really, those are, and this one. So, and then anything square. So like this one, of course we can turn that one or this one, or this one even. Any of these square ones we can make rectangles by just making our own rectangles, you know. I'm actually kind of tempted to try and tile this one. Maybe that's just what we'll do. Maybe we'll just try and see if we can tile this one. All right, so this is a 2 by 2 square. And we'll just see what we see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 layers and I'm going to merge them. And then I can duplicate this. And there's a second one. And I'm going to merge these 2 as well. So now it's just one thing. And then you can see how I just centered it on the background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my eyedropper to pick up this dark green from the background, and then I'm going to make a square in that dark green. And then we have this, Okay, so that's really pretty. So now we just want maybe something in the center, maybe something that's not like huge on its own. We've got this 25. Let's see. Maybe this Mary. What's this say? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's an option. What about a loaf? And a little... Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's put this... No, I don't... Not that. Maybe just the loaf. A loaf and something to... Like a little banner of some kind. So in the banner department, I've got this Deck the Halls, and I've got this It's Christmas Time. What about this Christmas time in front of the loaf? Okay. So we'll mess with these just a little bit here. So let's do a loaf. I think I'm missing some hot goss in the chat, but it's either that or we're unpacking our childhoods. I can't only tell. I can't quite tell which it is. Or both. Maybe it's both. Okay. All right, so we're going to take this loaf and drag it on here, and we're going to make it larger. Make it nice and big. Put it right in the middle there. It's a fruit cake. Everyone's favorite holiday treat. All right, then I'm going to go over to Christmas time. We're going to ditch the background. And then we're going to take it over to our band piece. All right, so what I'm going to do is just make it a little bit, there we go. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I want this to go, I want this ribbon to look like it's wrapped around the fruitcake, okay? So what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna move this first. First of all, I'm gonna say yes, that's a good layer. I'm gonna move it behind the fruitcake, okay? And now that's gonna show me, I just need just this light blue banner, and if I can lay it over the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get rid of the rest of it. The part of it that's not that light blue banner just in the front. And I'm gonna bring just that light blue banner down over here. And now we're gonna put that in front of this. And now we're gonna try and get them exactly the same size. Do they look exactly the same? I mean, I don't think they're exactly the same size. There we go. Ta-da! Look how quickly we were able to do that. Look how quickly we were able to get the ribbon wrapped around the fruitcake. All right, and then we can take these three and we can just merge them together so they're one, so that we can move them around. But this is super cute. I'm just going to put a little bit of a shadow just to help it stand off from the background just a little bit. Ta-da! All right, so that's totally adorable. Look at this beautiful pattern paper we just made. Look at this. So now we have a card. All right, look at this beautiful card. Okay. I do think that the fruitcake looks like pimento loaf. It's something about, it's because it's not textured, because it's cartoonish, so it looks more like a meatloaf than it looks like bread. So, yeah, I agree. But yeah, so it can be pretty, that wasn't hard in terms of photoshopping. So what I'm going to do is let me just come back to this and I'll tell you just briefly what I did. You've seen it before, but it's all this magic tool, this tool here. It's the one, if you go into select, okay, so you see over here, they kind of divide the icons by view, select, enhance, draw, modify, color. Okay, so it's in the select box and it's the one in the bottom right corner and it's the magic wand. And I think it looks like this. It looks like this little pen. So you just want to go to this one that looks like a star. And that one will take everything that's one color and highlight it. And then you can just delete it. And then that gets rid of it. And so we got our first banner. And then to get our second banner, we just have to delete even more colors. Okay. And so once we do it twice. So the banner is on here twice. One of the banners is behind the fruit loaf. And one of the banners is in front of the fruit loaf. So the full banner is behind the fruit loaf. And the banner that's just the front piece is in front of the fruit loaf. And that gives the impression that the fruit loaf is wound up in the banner. So that's how we made it. So pretty simple, you know, not too complicated, using our embellishments. And then I'm just going to close those out and I'm just going to say, no, I don't want to save changes. And I don't want to save changes because, you know, I don't want manufacturers' files. Okay. And so now all I need to do is I just need to decide, well, what do I want on the back of this? So like, what's going to look good? And of course this poinsettia will look good because it's all the correct colors. I like the stamps as well because there's a lot of food related items in the stamp sheet. This banner could be cute. The leaves would work very well. Those feathers. But what I think I am going to use is just because it's a food related thing, I think I'll use our kind of celebration pattern paper. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to cut a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of this so that I have something for the back. Okay. So I'm just going to cut literally just a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece. And then I'm just going to drop this right onto the sheet where I'm going to print it. Okay. So now I have something for the front of my, my folder. I have something for the back of my folder, and they're very similar in pattern, texture, whatever. But they're, you know, they're not identical. Okay. So now we just want to think about how do we want to frame these, right? So because this is going in a pocket, right? So what's going to go over it and what's going to go under it? So what's going to go over it, I think, well, first of all, under it, I actually really think these poinsettias would be nice. So we'll put these poinsettias under it. So this piece is 4 3/4 inch wide by 6 3/4 inch long. This is the liner for the pocket it goes in. So 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right. So there's our piece. So once again, we're just going to drag this straight down onto the print sheet. Okay. So this is the liner for the pocket it goes in. And then now we just need something to go over it. So it'll be on the front of the pocket we're putting it in. And so I just want to look at some of these tags and think, what do I like? And I like this one, this Jingle Bell Rock one right here. And so I know I have all the tags separated out at the bottom down here. So here's my Jingle Bell Rock thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eyedropper tool. So that's in draw, 1, 2, 3 down on the left. And I'm going to pull the code for that. Okay. And then I need to make myself a piece that's that size, which is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I actually think that's this one. Yeah, that's this one. So all I have to do now is just make a rectangle that's that color. I don't have to make it the exact same size, because if I just put layer flatten image, then it'll chop the sides off, and then I can just layer from the background, and then I have a perfectly sized square. All right, so now I'm going to go back down to my tag. And remember, I'm in the photo bin. That's where I'm operating right now. And then with this, I'm going to crop it as close to the piece as possible. So just going to try and come in tight on the sides. Okay. So now that I've got it cropped closely, I'm going to go back to the photo bin and drag it down onto that rectangle I made. So here, just going to drag it down onto that rectangle. And remember, this rectangle is the correct size. And so now all I have to do is just grab this corner and make it bigger. Okay, and that was too big, so that's okay. We'll just shrink it a little. All right, so there we go. So now I highlight over here. I'm in on the right, upper right here. I'm in the layers section. I'm going to highlight this one, hold the shift key down and highlight the second one. Then I'm going to go down here. If I'm in tool options, I'm going to say center, middle, and that's going to put it in the center of this sheet. And then I'm just going to go ahead and flatten it so that everybody's it's all together in one piece. And then I can drag this back down onto my printer sheet. So now I have the liner for the pocket, the front of the pocket, and then what's going inside the pocket. And I can see them all right next to each other. I see that they coordinate beautifully. They're going to look great on a red folder. And that's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save right here. It's after 11. So this is a good stopping point. So I'm going to save it in this mix and mingle thing. And I'm just going to make it mix and mingle 21. So we just need to remember. Oops, I just tried to make it 20 again. 21. What? Oh. Somebody stepped on the keyboard and got rid of my numlock. Okay, so this is 21. So this is saved. So we've got all our pieces and parts saved now. So I can go ahead and close out of Photoshop, and that will be it for now. So when we come back next week, we're going to start here. So this is where we'll be starting with the, well, continuing, I guess. We started tonight. Continuing with the digital stuff. And then we'll, mat it and keep going and do all that. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and amazing week. And I'll see you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. Bye now.